Hello and welcome back to my channel, Co Trips with Co. So today we're going to talk about Adams County a little bit. I have a list of things that you can do in Adams County and I will link that list down below in the description box. I'm not really sure why I have been putting off making this video. It just hasn't been the top of my to-do list, and it's really not my intention with this channel. I really enjoy the act of traveling and doing things, so I really hope to actually get better about making sure I stay on top of things like that, especially because technically I already went to Adams County and I'm just telling you what you can do besides what you're going to see me do. So one of the things you can do, which not during this time of year because it's October, almost November, but you can go to Pine Lake Waterpark, which is a really nice water park, and a lot of people like to go there during the summer. They have lots of like inflatable things in the lake and all of that, and it's a pretty cool place. Another thing you can do is Limberlost State Historic Site, which I actually will go to / did go to, depending on how you think about it. It was amazing, and it has Gene Stratton Porter's house. Like, that's where that site is built. So there's like a lobby you'll go into, and they have part of the museum there, and there's a lot of like the ladies who were there that day, at least, fantastic people, knew everything there was to know, super nice. And you can go there and they'll like sign you up for the tour and everything. You can also register with them at that location to do a like tour with a nature person through the Limberlost, like some of the preserves around the Limberlost area. So you can go in there, and then they'll take you out and you'll go into Jean's house and all of that good stuff, and they'll tell you all about that. Limberlost Swamp is another thing you can do. So Google's a little confusing because when I Googled this, it came up as its own thing. The Limberlost Swamp is the whole area. So there is no Limberlost Swamp anymore. So if you're going to go to the Limberlost Swamp, you're really going to like different preserves, like the Limberlost Historic Preserve, the Limberlost Historic Site, the Munro Preserve, things like that. The Limberlost State Memorial is another thing you can go to. Something else they have in Adams County is the Swiss Heritage Society, and that's because Adams County has a huge amount of Swiss influence. Like, a lot of immigrants who came over to this part of Indiana are from Switzerland, and they have a whole like society that meets and like does things like to remember their Swiss roots. And I personally did not call and ask to get an appointment to go through whatever they would show you, but they have a number on their website and you just call and ask if you can come look around and stuff like that. I think it's open on Mondays and Tuesdays, and you can just get to learn about what they do, I guess. I'm not really sure what you can do. Another thing you can go do in Adams County, and this is actually in Decatur, is the Pennsy Depot. So it's currently not anything. Like, it is the original Pennsy Depot from... So it is the original Pennsy Depot from what was there in 1861. No, it closed in 1961, 1891. Yeah, 1891. So it's the original Pennsy Depot from what was there in 1891, I believe. And it's in the same spot. The train tracks are still there. I know that those train tracks are still live tracks. I'm not sure what comes through them. Certainly not people's. Pennsy Depot used to be for people passenger trains. There was a like manufacturing plant down the street that had a bunch of train tracks going to it. And so I assume whatever they're doing there is going by Pennsy Depot. But you can get out and look around and see all the stuff around it. I know that they're currently trying to turn it into a museum, that it's not actually a museum yet, and that it's still a work in progress. You can actually rent out Pennsy Depot and use it as a venue for like weddings and whatnot, but it's not a museum yet. They're asking for money, so if you want to donate, perfect opportunity. Another thing you can do is the Decatur sculpture tour. So there is this app called AutoCast, and you can download it and it'll actually talk and walk you through the sculpture tour. The thing is that it's for 2019, and I'm sure with COVID things just didn't happen like they were supposed to. So there's probably going to be a 2021. Some of the original 2019 sculptures are still there. So if you want to look through AutoCast for that, it's perfectly fine. Don't expect to see all the sculptures on the 2019 tour because some of the sculptures are different and there's descriptions under each sculpture, but I feel like AutoCast was telling you more of like the history and like the intent and more about like the creator, the artists themselves, than you're just gonna see on that little blip underneath the sculpture. So feel free to definitely do the sculpture tour. I just can't promise that it's all that it would have been if you had gone to the 2019 one. Another thing you can do, especially at this time of year, is go to Decatur for Halloween. So they have a big, like, well-to-do Halloween. I think it's called the I'm gonna say this wrong. The Callithumpian Festival. Callithumpian Festival. That sound right? It's a big festival at the time of Halloween, and Halloween is like huge for them. And like you'll see in my Adams County trip how many houses like had already decorated for Halloween. I'm not sure if this is happening this year. When I googled it, nothing told me it wasn't happening. Nothing indicated that it was canceled, which implies that it is happening, which is kind of shocking because we're not supposed to do like gatherings, but you could try it. A place that I would suggest you go is Two Brothers Bar and Restaurant. Now, I will tell you about Two Brothers. I have never eaten there, but it's not native just to Adams County, Decatur. It's like all around. You can find them in Fort Wayne, other counties around that area. Like, it's not like specific to Decatur or Adams County. So if you want to go there by all means. I've heard it's a great food, but it's not special. Like if you're looking for a restaurant that's special to that location, that's not it. Another place to go is Old 27 Ice Cream. So apparently it is along, Decatur runs through the Old 27 road that actually used to take you from Michigan down south, and I'm not sure where it ends, I forget. But it is along that path, and it's only open during the summer. So you have to go during the summer, but they're well known all through that area, through Adams County. Like they're a big well-to-do thing, and I wish I had started this during the summer because I definitely would have gone to them. So definitely look into going to them during the summer, especially if you're going to hit up the Pine Lake Waterpark. Go to the Old 27 ice cream place after. Another restaurant is the Back 40 Junction restaurant. So I was going to eat either here or at the Soul Pig BBQ, and I decided not to eat dinner. Ultimately, it was late. It wasn't as late as I thought it was going to be, and I wasn't hungry yet. But I was going to either eat there or the Soul Pig BBQ, and the Back 40 Junction has fantastic ambiance. I was just driving around the parking lot, and they have so much to see. I can only imagine what the inside looked like. So it's definitely a place if you're looking for something different, if you want to see something, if you're looking for the ambiance, that's the place. The Soul Pig BBQ is one of the highest ranked restaurants in Decatur, Indiana, and so I was going to eat there, especially because I love barbecue. And I love to try different barbecues from different states and get to know, like, okay, so theoretically all American barbecue would be the same, but it's not, and we all know that it's not. So I like to try barbecue from different locations, different states, etc., because it does taste different, and they are made different. So another place you can go to eat is the famous Monster Pizza. Now, I considered going here because it is supposedly one of the best pizza places, but I just didn't really want pizza, to be honest. Like, I wasn't gonna drive all that way just to eat pizza. Like, I mean, maybe if I went to Chicago or New York, maybe, or if I went to a county and they were like, this is the best pizza in all of Indiana, yeah, probably. But this was just good pizza. Like, I wasn't gonna eat pizza. So the other thing about this place is, like, another, like, I've heard, like, from what I could read online, the ambiance is another, like, selling factor for this. So it's, like, monster themed, like, it's always Halloween for them. And I know that this particular restaurant was doing tours, like ghost tours that you could sign up for during October. I could not find a tour for the date that I was looking at, and I'm not sure what the tour would have entailed, what it was going to look like. I just know that I saw an advertisement to sign up for a tour. I'm not sure if it costs anything or how much it costs. So as I mentioned before, another place you can go is the Munro Nature Preserve. It's another good place for a hiking trail. It's like one of those places that used to be part of the swamp that was recovered to be a swamp again. It's swamp-like, but it's not like a swamp, so it's safe to go through it, and it's definitely a must-see because there is a old abandoned schoolhouse from Gene Stratton's time. I believe actually her father built it, and only the face of it remains, and you're going to see that in my Adams County video. And it was definitely a beautiful, like, in the middle of nowhere kind of vibe, and I definitely highly would suggest at least just driving by it. I personally have always loved to see things that like remain from years and years ago. It's just fascinating to think like, okay, this is 100 years old, you know? I love the concept of that. So 2 things that I couldn't confirm were happening this year / anything was even happening with them at all anymore was the Demolition Derby and the tractor pull. And from what I could see, the Preble Fire Department was the ones who sponsored this. And from what I could tell, it was like a donation charity event. That's what it looked like. And it is exactly what they sound like. It's Demolition Derby and tractor pull. Like, that's what they were. And like I said, I could not find anything about them happening in 2020, what dates they were, anything of that. So I'm assuming that with COVID, they were just canceled. So, but definitely go see them in future years if they are happening. Sounds pretty cool. Definitely would have gone. Another place you can go eat, which is the place where I went for breakfast, is the Alpine Rose coffee shop. And I'll mention in the video, but I highly would suggest if you're going just for coffee, don't just get the in-house drip coffee, get something more special because in-house drip coffee was not good. And the last thing I would suggest you do in Adams County, the Munsterberg Clock Tower and Plaza. It's definitely more something that you might want to do during the summer, but if you're just going to take a little quick walk or you just wanted to have a minute outside your car, like, it's good for that. They have these little like circular silver things that looked like they were for water, like, you know, like where the water shoots out and goes into the other thing. That's what they looked like they had. So if you want to go back in the summer and tell me if you see that happening, you let me know. Also, there was this part, okay, so I waited around until the clock got to 10 because there's a little man at the top of the tower with this like thing, like he's gonna hit the bell to make the bell sound. And then there's this little door and like this little like thing that comes out of the door and then goes into another door where it looks like it's gonna do like what a cuckoo clock does, where it, like, something comes out of the door and goes around and like the guy on top would hit the bell. But nothing happened. So either it's broke or it only goes off for like noon and midnight or something. Or maybe it's just a summer thing. Or maybe it's just decoration. Either way, I waited around until 10 thinking that it would happen on the hour because I got there at like 9:35, 9:40, and nothing happened. So, greatly disappointed. But, is what it is. Anyway, thank you for watching and joining me on this journey. I cannot wait to show you Adams County. It was amazing. I have a little cute intro of my drive there. I thought that would be cute way to open it, and I think it's definitely important to see that the drive is definitely part of the journey, because if you have a bad drive, like, you're most likely not going to be in a good mood for the rest of the trip, versus if you have a really good drive or it's really pretty views, like, it's probably a good sign. You're probably doing a good thing. Just saying. So, thank you for joining me, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.